3, 1, 2, 3. Shut up, man. You already know.
All right, man. Have some fun.
Jets on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Welcome to Pregame Central presented by Uber Eats. Get your order in now because we're 2 hours out from kickoff. The season opener is finally here. The New York Jets have arrived in the Queen City for their season opening date with the Carolina Panthers. There is Mr. Cool, Zach Wilson, sporting the sunglasses. Eric Allen alongside Eric Coleman inside the BetMGM studio. Ethan Greenberg is at the stadium in Carolina, and Anthony Becht will join us momentarily. Eric, man, it does feel good this Sunday. The NFL season is upon us. A lot of unknowns entering every week one. What do you know about the Jets and Robert Saleh?
I know that under Robert Saleh, this team is going to play fast. They're going to play with a lot of fire. The schemes aren't going to be so complex, but they're going to play efficient. The players are going to take away all the thinking. They're just going to let their skills, their energy, their passion for the game show. And I'm really excited to see what they have in store for this season.
Well, speaking of excitement, let's bring in Anthony Becht to our team once again for another year. AB. The NFLs are always in the spot. The quarterbacks are always in the spotlight. What do you think about the league schedule makers pitting Zach Wilson against Sam Darnold out here in Week 1?
I love it, man. No better way to start the season. I mean, storylines, great for the fan base. And this is really a very good team for the Jets to start out with. Not an upper echelon team, but a team that has some young players, some good players mixed in. And, of course, we get to see, go against the quarterback that was in this position the last couple of years for the Jets. So, look, I'm excited to see a lot of these young players for the Jets today, in particular the quarterback, Wilson. Can't wait to see him kind of add on to his short resume with the preseason. But this is live bullets, and it's an exciting time right now to be a Jets fan, to start the season right now, to see some of this new nucleus and a new head coach like you guys mentioned.
Eric, what do you think about the matchup at quarterback?
I love the matchup. Two young quarterbacks. Obviously, Sam Darnold is probably going to have a chip on his shoulder. Zach Wilson out to prove that he should be here and he should be the Jets' first pick. And so it's going to be exciting. Two very athletic quarterbacks. They can both make throws off schedule, and both can make big plays.
Anthony, here we're looking at the Jets' former starting quarterback. Of course, that's Sam Darnold, the number 3 overall selection in the 2018 draft. 13-25 as a starter for the Jets. The Jets, of course, moved on because early on in the scouting process, Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas fell for Zach Wilson. For them, the decision was not whether to keep that 2 selection and actually take Zach Wilson. It was actually, hey, are we going to keep Sam Darnold? But they thought all along that it was best for all parties involved that we make that trade. So not only do you have to look at the Jets in terms of 2021, right, Anthony? But don't you have to look at them as far as their foundational pieces and the draft ammo they have moving forward? 2 first-round picks in 2022, 2 second-rounders, 2 fourth-rounders, 2 fifth-rounders.
Yeah, the future's bright as far as the potential of the roster getting a lot better. But listen, they got a lot of good draft picks this year. All we've heard from the head coach throughout preseason OTAs is how much they love this rookie class. 6 to 9 guys are going to potentially be starting at some point or playing on the football field today or throughout the season. And I'm excited to see all of them. They're all very good players. I thought the preseason treated many of them well. And we get to see some new faces we haven't seen at all on the field, at least live, with Vera Tucker and Elijah Moore. So, look, the sky's the limit. The sky's up. But the biggest thing is stay healthy. Stay healthy going into the season. I love it right now that the fact that they're going into this game, they pretty much got that full armor ready to go. And I'm excited to see how this team looks, right off the jump, right from the kickoff of this football game.
Eric, what is ahead for veteran safeties Marcus May and LaMarcus Joyner, because they're working with a very green secondary at the cornerback position?
Well, it's going to take a lot of trust. Those two veteran safeties are going to have to do a lot of communicating to the young players to help them feel at ease before the snap. But pre-snap, if there was a microphone on the field, you wouldn't believe how much communication goes into it. The alerts. Let's worry about this. Let's talk about all the things that can happen to you. When you have two veteran safeties, it eases those young corners. They're able to just go out there and play and not have to worry about thinking or making a mistake.
Anthony, here is Zach Wilson. We just saw Quinnen Williams before. What do you think is going through the young man's mind? Everybody has raved about Wilson's poise so far, and it seems like throughout his career at BYU, and then you transition to the preseason, that every time he steps into game action, he's got another level, and now we're going to see him in the regular season for the first time.
Yeah, he's doing everything up to this point that you would want a young quarterback coming into the NFL to do. He's asking all the questions. He's staying up late. He's in the building first. He leaves last. He's literally leaving last, trying to get every single bit of information he can get from defensive players, offensive players, head coaches, assistants, and he's prepared himself. I've heard many of his interviews talking about just going through the process, looking at the situations, understanding, how much can he put in volume-wise and put on his shoulders so that he can pinpoint and narrow down exactly what he has to do against the Carolina Panthers today. I think that's the biggest thing for him on his mind is how do I execute those first couple plays that him and Matt LaFleur talked about to start the football game, and how can he build and grow throughout the game, whether it's looking at the sideline angles, the films, whatever they got there to get better each and every series. But it's one play, one snap at a time for this kid, and I'm excited the potential that he has, and it's going to start today.
Our own Ethan Greenberg is on the ground in Charlotte for the first game of the Robert Saleh, Zach Wilson era. Before we start talking football, what's the weather report?
Hey, what's up, guys? So right now we got a slight breeze. Temperatures expected in the mid-80s, I'd say, as high as 86. Feels like 87. No humidity, no precipitation. Should be a very clean game in terms of the elements. And it's not too hot. I thought maybe there'd be a chance that it'd be a lot worse in Carolina, but so far so good.
Ethan, this unproven Jets cornerback group is going to be challenged out of the gate by some explosive playmakers there on the outside, and former Jet Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, Terrace Marshall, and company. What can you say about the Jets corners?
Well, I think that it's safe to say that Bryce Hall, the second-year player, fifth-round pick last year, will be one of the starters for the Jets. Robert Saleh earlier this week called him the most consistent in the cornerbacks room. And after the Jets let go of Bless Austin, Robert Saleh mentioned 4 players for that second job: Brandon Eccles, Jason Pinnock, and Isaiah Dunn, all rookies. Dunn, the only undrafted rookie, and then second-year player Javelin Guidry. But the interesting part about Guidry is that he is one of the guys, one of 3 players in training camp to only take snaps at nickel. So will the Jets feel comfortable to put him on the outside without really taking a lot of reps in training camp? We'll find out in a couple hours. But I think that what you said earlier about this young group, we know that Robert Saleh believes in playing his young players. That's something he learned from Pete Carroll, and that starts today in a couple hours against 2 1,000-yard receivers from 2020. We know about Robbie Anderson and then DJ Moore as well.
Ethan, great stuff. We'll check in with you here in a little bit. Let's flip to the other side of the ball. The Jets playmakers look completely different in 2021 compared to opening day 2020. There you go. Last season, the Jets opened up against the Buffalo Bills in Orchard Park, New York, and there were their top receivers. You flip the script this year. You sign Corey Davis in free agency. You get a first-round talent in the second round in Elijah Moore. Those guys are going to be counted on big time here out of the gate. Jamison Crowder, unfortunately, out of the lineup today. But what do you think about especially the top 2, and then how do the Jets make the transition without Jamison Crowder today?
Well, first of all, looking at that roster of receivers, you can't help but get excited. You have a new quarterback with some great arm strength. The offensive line has been bolstered up. And then you have all these weapons. Elijah Moore, you bring him into the fold. He's a big-time playmaker. He's one of those guys who can take a slant 80 yards. You have Keelan Cole, a guy who can go up and make big plays for you. Jamison Crowder being out is going to be listen, anytime you're missing talent, it's going to hold you back. But at the same time, there's enough skill in that wide receiver group for them to substitute and make some big plays.
Anthony Beck, the 3 receiver sets today, would you put Elijah Moore inside? We know he can play all over the place. I was anticipating that your 2 outside receivers would have been, they aforementioned Corey Davis and Moore and Jamison Crowder inside. Without Crowder now, do you flip or do you move Elijah Moore inside and maybe put Denzel Mims outside or Jeff Smith?
See, this is what happens, Eric. You're looking at the traditional offensive set where receivers just stay in place. The one thing you won't see today is the lack of players staying in place. They're going to be moving them all around. I think the best part about Matt LaFleur and what he's going to bring to the table offensively is you may have him inside, outside. Corey Davis could be inside, outside. Tight ends could be outside, inside. That's the magic of this offense, this system. We all seen it with the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan, the way they move players every single snap. You will never see a static player in this system. And I'm really excited to see, because just off of the preseason games alone, the way they were able to get guys open on play action and movement. Corey Davis catching balls in the preseason, I know it's limited, but without defenders draped on him, guys not around him. When's the last time we saw a receiver catch an uncontested ball in multiple opportunities in a football game? So I'm looking forward to that and how the scheme works. I'm excited to see how this system comes together.
The reason why I haven't mentioned Keelan Cole is because the Jets signed him a free agency in the offseason, but Cole did not practice on Friday. He is questionable, so the Jets potentially could be not only just without Crowder, but Cole as well.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Keelan Cole is a big-time playmaker, and if he was out of the lineup, that takes away one of those guys who can take the top off the defense, stretch everything, make it easy, and really be a vertical threat on the play action. But, not having him in there, Elijah Moore is a guy who can take the top off of defense. There's a lot of players on this roster that can step up, make plays, and I think that it's going to be exciting to get those young guys some opportunities today.
Fans, you can be at MetLife Stadium for the 2021 New York Jets home opener against the New England Patriots next Sunday, September 19th. All fans in attendance will receive a free Bud Light welcome rally towel. Lock in your seats at nyjets.com/tickets. We have missed you. We have missed you so much that we are taking Pregame Central out to the island. We will be out there. Eric Coleman is getting out of the studio. Anthony Beck's flying up north next week. It's going to be an unbelievable atmosphere at MetLife Stadium as we will all celebrate together as one. I can't wait for that game. But listen, we're less than 2 hours from kickoff between the Jets, Panthers today. Quinnen Williams, I got an interesting story for you. Quinnen Williams, Robert Saleh said Friday, that he dropped 10 pounds this offseason, body fat, and he picked up muscle mass. And I tweeted that out. And Quinnen Williams saw that tweet, and he replied, 16 pounds. This guy's ready to roll.
Yeah, he earned all 16 of those pounds. He looks lean and mean, and what that is going to do for him is going to make him more explosive. It's going to make him more agile in the middle of that defense. It's tough for these guards, these centers, to match up with a guy like Quinnen Williams because of his quickness, his lateral speed, and I expect a lot of big plays out of him this season.
The dude was a beast last year. I know everybody talks about Aaron Donald being the top interior force in football, but at the end of this year, I think Quinnen Williams, I'm not saying he's going to be in Donald's category, but he should be right there among any defensive tackle in all of football. All right, let's get to key matchups today and start with you, E.
My key matchup today is Sam Darnold from the Panthers against C.J. Mosley. Now you have the quarterback of the offense going against the quarterback of the defense. And I don't know if you guys were able to come out to training camp in 2019, but it was impressive to hear the communication on both sides between Sam Darnold with the offense, C.J. Mosley making adjustments on the back end. He's the quarterback of the defense. He makes a lot of the adjustments. I think that if he can get the defense in the right positions, communicate what he sees out there on the field, use all that veteran presence that he has, it's going to help put this defense, these young linebackers, in great position to make a lot of plays today.
Darnold with the Jets, 45 touchdown passes, 39 interceptions. He was sacked 98 times. Mosley did say this week, anytime you go against a quarterback that you played with, you're just excited because you actually get to hit him now. So we'll watch out for that. Anthony, where are you going this week?
Yeah, the red jerseys are off, right?
That's right.
Listen, I got to go with the quarterback versus the corners of the Panthers, Horn and Jackson. Horn's probably, arguably, the best rookie corner to come out of the draft this year. So you're going to have two rookies facing each other. And things don't change, guys, when you go into a game. Whether you're a rookie quarterback or not, you always go to the side where the rookie corner is. And I expect him to do that early and often against them and put pressure. I'd love to see that matchup versus the receivers. But Zach Wilson has to do a lot of good things today with his eyes. Get safeties, get corners, get linebackers away out of the spaces that he needs. And he has to make plays with his legs, not just running the football, but in the play action game, in the movement outside the pocket. I think number one thing that he brings to the table is his accuracy with that movement. He has to show that today. And again, take that first step into becoming a quarterback can help this team win and be in every game week in and week out.
Dante Jackson, 10 interceptions in his first 3 seasons for the Carolina Panthers. You mentioned Horn. People love his physicality. He can get handsy at times, so maybe Wilson can pick up not only completions down the field, but also a couple penalties, maybe a couple holding penalties, maybe a couple pass interference infractions. Listen, fellas, I got to go back to the guy we just watched. I'm looking at the Jets' defensive tackles against the Carolina offensive line on the interior. You got Quinnen Williams, 7 sacks in 13 games last season. We talk about him losing the body fat, putting on the muscle mass. You got Sheldon Rankins, a former first-round pick up there, who's feeling healthy at 8 sacks with the Saints in 2018, of course. The Panthers guards, fellas, Pat Elflein did some nice things for the Jets last year, but he's starting for them. And then Dennis Daly is a backup who will be filling a starting role. So I think the Jets have the potential to dominate on the interior. No quarterback likes pressure up the middle. Eric, I really believe the Jets can make a lot of quarterbacks feel uncomfortable this season because these guys can penetrate and win their one-on-one matchup.
Yeah, I mean, and you talk about supporting those young corners on the outside. What better way to do it than get some pressure on the quarterback, hurry some throws, have some errant throws to give them opportunities and make some big plays.
Yeah, no doubt about that. We are nearing kickoff in Charlotte. Here is Zach Wilson, number 2 overall selection in last April's draft. Remember, last season, tremendous at BYU. Protected the football, just the 3 interceptions, and he's coming off a strong preseason. After a solid spring, he's about to make his pro debut, and we're going to look at Wilson right now in the film. I'm pumped. It's time for film. Let's take a look at rookie quarterback Zach Wilson and the connection that he already has with veteran receiver Corey Davis, starting with this one against the Giants.
Yeah, we have a couple of clips that are going to show you why everyone's so excited about this combination. And on the first clip against the Giants, you have a 3rd down and 6. The Giants are going to be playing the sticks. They're going to be jumping all the short routes. They have 2 high safeties up top, and Zach Wilson is going to have to make a great throw. You see the condensed formation by the Jets, giving Corey Davis room on the outside to work, to operate. Now here you go, Zach Wilson, and this is a big boy throw right here. Not a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL can make this throw from the opposite hash all the way to the sideline and throw it on a rope. Watch Zach Wilson. Steps into this throw, absolute strike to Corey Davis, converts to 1st down.
I love that he's so decisive in the pocket. You also like that Corey Davis knows exactly where he's going to go, and he's going to work his way back for his quarterback. Let's move this forward to the Packers. We saw Davis work the sideline. Now we're going to see him work the middle of the field.
Yeah, this is the beauty of the condensed formations. You can expand your routes, or you can run. You can set your cornerback up. And if you look at this cornerback, look how much room he's man-to-man coverage. Look how much room he has to cover when covering Corey Davis out there in the middle of the space. So you set this play up. Corey Davis starts his route vertically. And then watch the cornerback. See how he jumps outside? He's nervous about all that. He feels naked outside. So Corey Davis does a great job of stepping on his toes, running that in-breaking route, and Zach Wilson delivers another strike across the middle of the defense.
That's an easy rip for Zach Wilson there. But let's talk about him making plays, maybe not that we're part of the design, but the Jets love it anyway.
Yeah, and this is what's so exciting about a young quarterback in Zach Wilson. His off-the-script throws. When you talk about these big-time players, a lot of players can do what the coach asks, but after the play breaks down, what can you do? And Zach Wilson here, the play breaks down. He has Corey Davis man-to-man against the linebacker. He understands that he has to hold this safety down the middle of the field, and then he breaks the pocket and delivers a strike right up the sideline, hitting Corey Davis for the big gain for the Jets. And you're going to see a lot of these big plays, a lot of this mobility, and that's what's exciting about Zach Wilson playing a quarterback.
Run it from the top again, because I want people to watch Wilson, the patience there. All the guys are talking about how cool and poised he is. And what a veteran move this is, because early on, he doesn't have anything, but then steps to the right and lets it go.
Yeah, and it's absolutely beautiful when you watch him operate back here. He has the play action. That's where the run game is so important. It holds the underneath defenders in this cover 4 coverage. The cornerback and the safety are going to double team this receiver, leaving this linebacker man-to-man on Corey Davis on a wheel route. And if you see Zach Wilson improvise back here, he doesn't get flustered. He keeps his eyes down the field, understanding he's got his big guy running up the sideline, and then, again, delivers a strike.
All right, this afternoon, all gas, no break for the New York Jets. What does that mean? I got a chance to talk to head coach Robert Saleh about that this week.
I always talk about a style of play. And, if you turn off the volume and there's no announcers, you can't hear the fans, and you're just sitting there by yourself and you're looking at the screen, what does your play say? What is it speaking? And for us, we talk about that effort, that fast physical demeanor. That's what we want to see on tape. That's what we want screaming off the tape. And if you're not popping that off the tape, then you're not exactly working to the style that we know that we can play at. And so that's kind of what we're hoping to see, a fast and physical football team.
We have a loaded lineup today for you, starting with Jets Game Day with Robert Saleh. That airs on CBS at 11:30, followed by Jets Pregame Live on SNY at noon. Then you have Postgame Live. SNY will be airing that. But come back for Jets Overtime, our signature postgame show. Eric and I will be right back here at One Jets Drive. You are watching Pregame Central, presented by Uber Eats. Eric Allen and Eric Coleman inside the studio. Speaking of Uber Eats, get your order in now. I was actually talking to Matt Sickoff about our technical director the other day. He ordered Uber Eats, and he said it was quick. It was great. A tremendous process, so we're excited to be working with them this year. What was your favorite pregame meal as a player?
My favorite pregame meal, I always had a lot of pasta. I needed those carbs to kind of give me the energy down the stretch. But I also had eggs. You stay in your routine, have some potatoes, some things that can help nourish your body. Because you eat about 4 hours before the game. The next time you eat is maybe at halftime. You grab a peanut butter and jelly, some orange wedges. So there's a long time between the time that you eat.
All right, I'm so excited that I can't eat right now because we are approaching kickoff, and it is time for All In or Not today. So we bring everybody in. We have a 4-box. Let's go to Carolina and start. Ethan, Ty Johnson will lead the Jets in rushing yards against the Panthers. All in or not today?
All right, well, I'm going to say all in for Ty Johnson, and here's the thing. I think it'll be close, right? I think that there's a reason why Tevin Coleman did not play in the preseason finale. Ty Johnson did, but I really like what I saw out of Ty Johnson. I think he's got good speed. I think we saw the power against the Eagles. I think he's got a nice little finesse out of the backfield. But I will say this about Tevin Coleman. he was a part of the Super Bowl teams with the Falcons that went and lost and the 49ers that went and lost, all with Mike LaFleur, the Jets offensive coordinator. So I think he's going to get most run to start this game in Carolina. But I think at the end of the day, I think Ty Johnson will end up leading the Jets in rushing yards.
How about that? Now, the Jets going to go with committee in the backfield this year. We know that. And Ethan has the green tie on today in Carolina. I see a lot of green and white jerseys in the stands. That's great to see. Eric, let's stick with the running backs. Christian McCaffrey, he's healthy. Will he top 150 yards today? All in or not today?
I'm going to go with not today.
Oh.
This speed defense for the Jets, this is the reason why you draft young safeties / linebackers like Hamza Nasruddin, guys who can run, who can have great matchups with running backs like Christian McCaffrey. Now, the challenge comes when you're playing 3 deep. You're trying to play from the top down. That creates a lot of separation for Christian McCaffrey to work, but I believe the Jets will play it from the top down, play with that hunger, get 11 hats on the ball, and keep him from getting over 150 total yards.
That was a cool little scene we just saw. Leon Washington, who is a Jets assistant, coming in and saying hi to Christian McCaffrey. And, McCaffrey's going to want to get on track today. That would help Sam Darnold big time. The Jets are going to be up for the assignment, though. Anthony, let's get to you. Zach Wilson, he is the man with the spotlight. He'll throw for 2 or more touchdowns in his professional debut. All in or not today?
Let's go, man. I'm all in. How can you not be all in on this one? Look, he's got a ton of weapons. Corey Davis. Is anybody not excited to see Elijah Moore right now? I mean, this guy gets the ball in his hand. He could score at any moment. He had a great offseason. I'm excited to see him. And look, I'm not going to get through a show without talking about the tight ends. Tyler Kroft coming off a 2-touchdown performance in the preseason against the Packers, building that relationship with Zach Wilson. Heck yeah, I'm all in on that one.
I love it. He had to throw in the tight end there.
Oh, yeah. Shameless plug.
Of course.
Okay.
Elijah Moore, EA, I just want to say this. Elijah Moore has a fantastic suit jacket today. It's green and like cream. It's like green and white, and it's kind of cut here, and this part is green, and this part is white. He looks very good. Just want to put that out there. I don't know if that means he's going to play good, but I'm excited to watch him play, and he definitely looks the part.
Look good, play good.
Hey, that doesn't surprise me. I like what I saw out of Wilson coming into the game today. He had the cool shades on, not overdressed, but looking very businessman-like, but also an element of cool that he brings to the game. Okay, for me, fellas, I have Corey Davis will have more receiving yards than Robbie Anderson. There is Corey Davis. Very nearly had 1,000 yards receiving in his final year with the Tennessee Titans. Signs with the Jets in free agency. He and Zach Wilson have a tremendous chemistry going already. We've seen them hook up continually on the practice field. It transitioned to game action in the preseason play. 6'3", 209 pounds. He's going to help this team out on the outside as well. I think Robbie Anderson's going to get his yards. I think Corey Davis is going to have more yards. I'm all in on this one. I think Corey Davis is going for over 100 yards today, and it's going to be interesting to see how the Carolina Panthers approach covering him. Let's go as we got time for a couple more little nuggets before we get to Anthony, before we get to Ethan for the pregame inactives. Anthony, how do the Jets go about stopping McCaffrey?
Gang tackle. You got to get 11 guys to the football. And you talked about the linebackers. There's speed now, young speed, sideline to sideline guys. Okay, Mosley, look, you got to be excited. We haven't seen this guy since 2 years ago, the first game against the Bills. He was the best guy on the field, offensively or defensively. You know he's going to be wanting to come back playing big in this game. But this defensive line now, I know Carl Lawson's not in the house. We lost him for the year, but there's some potential now. Rankins, Franklin Myers, Williams, you talked about some of these guys. They're going to be penetrating against an offensive line of the Panthers, quite frankly. I don't think they're good. They're not good at all. So we're going to have to see that early on, and they can contain McCaffrey by doing that. They're going to have a big day defensively.
Speaking of big days, great transition. Mekhi Becton got the shades out there. Offensive game plan today. The Jets won't be afraid of putting the ball in Wilson's hands. We know that. But they're going to lean on the run game. Do you think we're going to see that early behind that left side with Becton and Elijah Vera-Tucker?
Absolutely. I think we're going to get a heavy dose of the run game. A lot of Tevin Coleman, Johnson, they're going to play it by committee, but they will be efficient running the football. You might see about 30 runs today, some play action off of that to create some big plays, but definitely want to dominate that line of scrimmage. That's how you make the job easy for your quarterback.
Yeah, I think the Jets are going to have success moving the football. I think they got the advantage today in the trenches. Mekhi Becton, looking relaxed here as kickoff approaches. It is Jets, Carolina Panthers, and now it's time for a final word. We're going to go back to Carolina. Ethan, you have game day inactives. Go ahead.
I do, and you guys talked about Keelan Cole earlier in the show. He will not play. He is inactive. He was a game-time decision with the knee injury. That means no Jamison Crowder, no Keelan Cole. Maybe a heavy dose of Denzel Mims is on tap. One guy that I thought was kind of surprising, Jason Pinnock, he's inactive. He was one of the 4 that Robert Saleh said was in the mix for that CB2 job. Looks like that is now between Eccles, Dunn, and Guidry. We'll find out in a couple hours. 2 running backs down, Josh Adams. Josh Allen will be playing the Pittsburgh Steelers at 1 o'clock. Josh Adams and LaMichael Pirine, Quincy Williams inactive, and to round out the inactives, another rookie, Jonathan Marshall.
Great stuff, Ethan. Awesome to be back with the gang here on Game Day. Get over to CBS 2 for Jets Game Day with Robert Saleh. We will be back here for Jets Overtime presented by Nissan after the game. Order your Uber Eats right now. We'll see you after the game.